Welcome to Identity Matters with Dr. Kathleen Perry. Join in to explore one of life's big questions. Who am I really? The Identity Matters podcast will show you that you are and always have been innately whole and worthy just as you are. So slow down, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Identity Matters. I'm your host, Dr. Kathleen Perry. And today I want to talk to you about anxiety. There's so much to say about that. But today I'm going to explore in the context of a question that I got. And I get asked this question or versions of it quite a bit. And I really love it because it points right at the heart of what I explore. So the question goes like this. When I get anxious, why can't I just make it stop? And I bet that's maybe been your experience too, if you have feelings of anxiety. You're just saying like, there it goes. You feel what's happening. You want to make it stop and you can't. So there's this exhaustion from trying to make it stop. And I want you to know that I hear this tiredness in it. And it's coming from the fact that you've tried a lot of stuff. You've tried breathing, trying to reframe it, talking yourself down. Sometimes we call a friend and have them try to help us talk us down from off the wall. You've done the apps. You've tried meditation and journaling and breathing exercises. And maybe those things help for a while. In the midst of anxiety, you may be doing it, doing all those things. But somehow the anxiety just keeps finding you again. And oftentimes it just shows up with a different face on, it seems like. So that is not a sign of failure. It's just a sign that perhaps you're working at it from the wrong end. And here's what I mean. The problem with how we approach it is that a lot of times we go after the circumstances. We think, well, if we can change the situation or avoid the triggers or even manage the symptoms, there's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just that anxiety doesn't really live in the circumstances. That would mean that, we're having what we think is an experience of outside in, that the circumstances, the situation, the things that people are saying, that's the cause of the anxiety. And it's not. It's anxiety doesn't live out there. So when you find your anxiety coming back, as it usually does, it's not because you haven't found the right technique. It's just because you've been approaching it from the wrong direction. So what if this isn't primarily a situation problem? And again, I don't mean that we shouldn't try to improve our circumstances or situation, but we just want to see that the situation isn't the cause. So here's an example. There was a client I was working with recently, a very, very smart, self-aware person who was someone that genuinely got all the work done and did it well. And they described sitting in a meeting with their heart racing, trying really hard to look calm while internally running every tool to calm themselves down. The breathing, the reframing, the, meditation in the moment. And all that managing effort was actually keeping them from noticing something that was already there. Something quieter. Something that had never left. And that's what I'm pointing to. So, kind of another reframe or a reframe that's actually helpful. that I think is actually true. Unlike the reframes that you might be using, and some of those would be like just saying like, well, I'm sure it'll work out okay. Or, I don't know. Let me talk about the one that I think helps, and it's the weather reframe. So I like using it because it's an image that helped me, and it's helped a lot of people that I work with, and including this client that I'm talking about. So if we were to think of anxiety like weather passing through, and it's real, sometimes it's very intense, but it isn't permanent. It's not a verdict on your life. It doesn't tell anything about who you are. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you because you're having this experience, feeling these sensations, having thinking arise, that's causing this sensation in your body. So what we know about weather is that it doesn't have to be fixed. It moves, it shifts, it changes, it clears all on its own. And you don't have to become a different person for that to happen for you. So in no way am I dismissing what you're feeling. It's really because the anxiety isn't caused by your circumstances. You don't have to go out and fix yourself or fix the circumstances to feel okay. It's exhausting to think about trying to do that every time something comes up that makes you feel anxious. And the fact that it's not coming from out there is actually really, really good news. So when we know that we're creating our experience from the inside out, there's a circumstance happening, something's going on in this meeting for my client, and they're telling a story about it. They're making meaning. And that particular story is resulting in a sense of anxiousness, a sense of jitteriness, nauseated, a rapid heartbeat, clammy palms, want to stand up and scream and do something. That's where it's coming from. It's coming from us on the inside, our interpretation, our thinking. And believe me, it happens so quick. It's almost like a fusion. The thought arises, the sensation happens in the body, and then you're like, I'm anxious. And sometimes you may not even recognize the thought or the story. You just get the sensation in the body. So this is all good news. It's because what this means is this is where your agency lives. So I want to talk to you about really what's underneath this. There's something in you that is watching the anxiety. And it's not just a neutral witness. It's the part of you that's actually never been rattled by any of this. What if this is just your awareness? What if that is actually something bigger, moving as you? Life itself, love itself, expressing through this particular body and this particular nervous system, you. The anxiety is real, but what's happening inside is so much larger than that. It's a thing that's not separate from you. It actually is you at a deeper level. You're the one holding this experience. You were never broken. You're never a problem to be managed. You're just always been an expression of something whole and complete. So instead of asking yourself, how do I make this stop? What if you just became a little curious? Not as a technique or something to manage, but just what's here and watching it and knowing that there's this peace and this steadiness and this awareness holding it all that has already and always been here. And that is you. So if this resonates in any way and you want to go deeper, I'm opening a 5-week online course called The Intelligence Inside, and it begins May 26. It'll be on Tuesday evenings from 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. Central Time. It's designed for exactly this type of exploration, knowing that you can have a different experience when you understand your true nature. So if you're interested, you can email me at office@drkathleenperry.com, and that address is also listed in the show notes. So thank you for being here, and I'll speak to you next time with much love. Thank you for listening to Identity Matters. I hope you found this episode insightful. If you're ready to delve further into this journey of self-discovery and uncover your innate wholeness, I invite you to consider one-on-one coaching with me. Together, we can explore the unique challenges and opportunities in your life or your business or both. And through that exploration, help you align with your true self. To learn more about my coaching services, visit drkathleenperry.com/services.